Hello, welcome back to Call to Homeschool, friends. I'm so glad you are here. Today, we are talking about something if you have more than one kid, this has probably been a struggle for you and something that every homeschool mom goes through. Trying to teach an older child while little siblings are, well, being little siblings, being small children, right? So I'm so excited to dive into this today. This is a question from Caitlin from Illinois. And Caitlin said, I'm having trouble with distractions. My 7-year-old and I will start our schoolwork, and then little brothers, 4-year-old and baby brother, 8 months old, are sometimes not wanting to do the things I have for them so I can help my oldest. My first grader gets very distracted, and we have a small house, so there's a lot going on close by. He either wants to play with his little brothers or he just can't stay focused. My 4-year-old feels left out. I know school shouldn't take this long, and I'm seeing him lose interest even in the things he enjoys. How do I keep it short, simple, and still get a good day of homeschool done? Anybody else ever feel this way who's had more than one kid, right? First of all, you're not alone. I know this was a struggle figuring out how to navigate this with younger kids and still giving an older kids a great education and a lot of learning. So you're not alone. Every homeschool mom has probably gone through something like this. So we're going to break it down and talk through some of the ways to bring peace, focus, and joy back into your homeschool. So, first, let's dive in about resetting expectations about time. Now, if you remember a couple episodes ago, I talked about the power of short and sweet lessons. And I would like this to be a huge reminder about short and sweet. A 7-year-old does not need school to be long. In fact, for this grade, formal lessons can only take 5, 10, 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes total each day. And that can even be broken up into smaller chunks. I cannot tell you how many clients I have talked to by just simply shortening the lessons. I have a lot of clients in the same boat, right? Their oldest is like 7 to 10, and then 2 or 3 kids behind. And they're like, it's chaos and it's taking hours. And I say, go shorter, do shorter lessons. They are just absorbing so much information by being in the world and asking questions that you can do these really short lessons, and then they are still getting an amazing education. So, if let's see, if math lesson is taking an hour because of distractions, it's not a sign you're behind. It's a sign to shorten and simplify. So, here's everybody's permission slip if you are in this boat. Do a 5-minute math lesson. And that could be a math game. That could be counting. So simple. Do the 5 minutes and then move on. Do a few minutes of copy work. Actually, you could just write one word if people are really distracted, one letter, something really, really basic and simple. As the day goes on, sing the ABCs, count as you go up or down the stairs, or if you're pulling plates or bowls out of a cupboard, you're at the grocery store and you're getting multiple items, count. How many steps does it take as we walk into somewhere, right? We're at a park. How many stairs are we going up? There's so many things that you are naturally doing that you can just make part of natural learning. The rest of the day is that really, if you really want that sit down piece, you can, but like 7-year-olds don't really need a whole lot of just sitting there. It's a tough skill. So, but adding in things that you can do naturally throughout the day, like I said, learning through play, reading aloud and reading aloud. Don't pull out a chapter book that's really difficult. Get picture books, get storybooks. There are so many good storybooks with photos that will keep everybody's attention there. If you're losing people's attention and you really want them, wrap it up, make it short. Nature walks, helping with chores, all of these things are learning. Just because if you can't sit down and do really long lessons, then you're okay, right? Your child will learn more from a few focused minutes than from a long, dragged out hour. So let's talk about occupying the littles realistically. So there are different things you can do, right? It is normal that a 4-year-old wants to be with you and an 8-month-old. They're still very little and you are in their world. So instead of trying to keep him away, lots of times just bring him in. And I could do this so many times. I found with my group subjects with littles, I would, if I had a notebook for a big kid, I had a notebook for a little kid. And just by including them, sometimes it was just so helpful. And they'd want to sit there maybe for a few minutes and then their little cups were full and they'd run off, right? And they'd go and play, but something that like they just want to be included. Other ideas are your special school box that only comes out during school time. Things like stickers, magnet tiles, water painting, lacing cards, Play Doh. I had stuff like this for read alouds, that it was just something that would come out during read aloud, that it was a very special thing, some fun toys that would only come out for read aloud. And when read aloud was done, they would get put away. Snacks. Snack time during school time is a really great way. Food keeps little hands busy. I actually even utilize this for my big kids. We went through a time where I would do a power hour, and power hour was 1 hour of silence, which was so hard with so many kids. But I would give them snacks, and I bought goldfish, and I bought pretzels, and I would set it up on the table, and I would set up a microwave with a timer so they could see 1 hour, and you just have to get a bunch of your work done during this time. So obviously, a 4 year old is a little bit different than a 12-year old that I was trying to keep busy. But food is a great one. So if they can be in a safe space where there's some food, something that just keeps their little hands busy. I mean, I've utilized food for family meetings and other things where I'm just trying to encourage them to sit there or to be quiet, something like that. So food is a great way to help little ones. A helper job, right? They want to feel included. They want to feel important. So giving the 4 year old a teacher's assistant role, holding the flashcards, erasing the board, or passing out pencils, something fun, right? For babies, I just keep them by me if they are awake. So wearing them in a carrier, I've nursed many times with the baby on me while teaching school. Having some small basket of toys that once again is only for the baby during this time, maybe a little snack for them, something like because they'll be by you, not like the 4 year old. You could set up it up in the kitchen table or something, but the baby be by you and little snacks for them, something like that. And you can even wait until the baby takes their nap. So, and if it all falls apart that day, that's okay. Take a break, snuggle, reset, and try again later because you are teaching them this skill of being able to focus and do their schoolwork. And you can't do it if you do water hose them with these long, long lessons, but actually making them short and sweet lessons. So now let's get back to your 7 year old and thinking, how can we help your 7 year old focus? So your oldest is at that really great fun age, but it's a wiggly age. And sitting still and focusing is a very new and challenging skill. And this is what um, is so awesome about being homeschooled is that we don't just have to sit there, especially kids with a lot of energy. So once again, aim for very short lessons, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, right? Just really short and sweet so that they can get used to that. But movement. Sometimes you have to throw in this movement, and this can be for a lot for boys, and I also seen it for girls as well. But getting up and moving your body. I've talked before with one of my kids, I would run him a couple miles. So we'd go out and run 2 miles before we even started school because he had so much energy, he couldn't focus if he didn't move his body first. We would take lots of breaks in the daytime with 5 boys, you can imagine we would get lots of energy and it would be like, okay, let's take a break. And you guys go outside and run around the yard or go play football for a little bit or go do this thing outside, go play outside for a little bit. So, stretching, jumping, running, all great things to just help them move their body because then they can focus. Sometimes too, with some kids, it's really great to just have, like I said, a timer. So, like when I did the power hour, I put it on the microwave because they could sit at the kitchen table, they would do their school, have some snacks, and then they could see the timer, right? So, if with your 7 year old, if you're bringing them, doing school with them, it's like, we are going to do math for 5 minutes. And I put this timer on. And when it's done, even if you're in the middle of writing a three, we're just going to stop and have it be fun, right? Like have this great energy with it and make it really fun. And then slowly add in a little bit more. But I still wouldn't get up to more than 10 minutes for a couple of years. Um, and once again, saving anything that you really want, say like your kid is really into art and you want to spend a lot of time with it, then do that when the baby's sleeping. You could even have the 4 year old gets a special educational show, right? So baby goes to sleep, 4 year old gets a special show, and you and 7 year old get this time together, right? Get creative. Think outside of the box. Is there a neighbor that would want to swap babysitting? If you're like, okay, I just need 30 minutes with my 7 year old, is there a nice neighbor? Is there a relative nearby that could go on a little walk with the other ones? I've even hired, back when I had George, I hired a homeschool helper. And I just had a little girl that homeschooled, not that little, she was in her teens, but I hired this girl and she would come over and just play with George. and just watch him for a little bit. And I just needed maybe an hour or something to go through all the other kids, and she would play with him. So if that's something you can do or that is in your budget, and if not, then see if there's another mom you could switch with. Hey, I want to make sure I really do school with my kid Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Could you do 30 minutes with these two? And then I will do an hour with your kids Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it is. Get creative if you really want this alone time without distractions. So remember, your peace matters. So your calm presence or high energy, whatever it is such an important part of the homeschool day. There is going to be noise. Let me just guarantee some things for you right now. There's going to be chaos, but your children are learning how to live together, love each other, and grow as a family. That is just as valuable as math or reading. Homeschooling with littles is only a season. It is messy and noisy, but it's also beautiful, and it won't always be like this. The baby will get older. The four-year old will be able to do more on their own, and your 7-year old will grow into longer focused time. So for now, keep it short, keep it simple, and keep it joyful. That is a successful homeschool day. Friends, if this episode has helped you, please share it with another mama who's in the thick of homeschooling with littles. And if you have any questions you'd like to have me answer on this podcast, please send me a message. I absolutely love hearing from you. Friends, you're doing an amazing job. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.